Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vanessa and I'm the owner of Glitter Fritter Crochet. I am an amigurumi crochet designer. I am an avid fiber artist. I am a yarn collector, a brand new knitter, and I just love everything that is related to yarn and creating clothing, toys, home stuff, whatever it may be. And since I have pretty much driven my family insane talking about this stuff, I thought I would start this channel where I can share my love of all things yarn with you guys. And so if you feel like hanging out with me here, I'd love it if you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any new videos from me. So I am actually off on vacation. We are going to St. Martin. And so we're going to have a 2-week break here on the channel of videos. And I thought a good way to leave off as our final video before I am off to the sunny beaches where I will be knitting a fun little summer top for myself. I thought I would kind of recap everything that I made so far in 2025. We're finishing off the quarter, March is done, April is starting. And so I thought I would share pretty much all the projects that I have worked on so far, so that you can see kind of what I've had done, how I feel about all the stuff, etc. There is no rhyme or reason to how I have this organized. I'm kind of just going to be pulling things as they come to me. I have things kind of next to me over here off camera. There's some things behind you because some things are bigger, some things are smaller. And so I'm just going to start pulling stuff over to me and talk to you about it. Some things are going to be knitted. I have one sewing project that has to do with knitting. So I'll share that. And we're going to have, it's a good mix. We got like plushies, we got dolls, we got home stuff, we got clothing, and then the sewing project. So quite a few things that I've worked on, which is shocking because I started using a crochet planner. If you haven't checked it out, go into my Etsy shop. There's a downloadable crochet planner that I made, and it's got like pretty much everything you need. And so what I did with mine is I printed it off from at Lulu. And you can see me doing a reel of it on my Instagram. I had it printed off and bound as a book. And so I've been using that. And I started writing stuff down kind of to backtrack what I've done because I got it a bit later in the year. And I realized I've done quite a bit. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the smallest thing that's right next to me. And this was my most recent creation. So if you can kind of see, let's see if it will focus on it. There we go. So this is a case for headphones. So it's a little headphone case. So you pop your headphones inside and it looks like a little cat. And I followed a YouTube tutorial. I'll be linking all of the patterns or tutorials that I use for all of these in the description. But I followed a YouTube tutorial to make these. And there's also a printed pattern on the person's blog. So this is a little, I have to put it up against my face because it's black, so it's hard to see. But this is a little cat, and it reminds me of the Kiki's delivery service cat. So I had to get it. So it looks like Gigi, and I was like, you know what, I need to make this. This took forever. It didn't take that long, but I thought it was going to be really fast. And it took forever. So I was not happy with how long it took because I really thought it was going to be like a 1-hour project. And this took me like a good 2.5 hours for sure. Plus then I didn't have the right clip to kind of hold it together. So if you want one of these, just be prepared. It looks small. I also used very small yarn, and a 2.25 hook, but it looks small. It takes a while. So just be prepared. I also made some modifications where I did I did crochet like the eyes on, and I embroidered the eyes and I embroidered the nose because in the pattern, they are actually gluing them on and I didn't want that wear and tear. The other thing I did was after I embroidered, I lined the inside with like a soft fabric so that you can see the embroidery threads and just to kind of polish it off. And I also made modifications for size because I've had them they're not AirPods. So my AirPods broke and I didn't feel like spending $200 on headphones. So I got AirPod knockoffs. They look like this. They're pretty much like the same shape. They look the same in your ear, but they were $30. So that's what we have. So I had to make some modifications for their size. But otherwise, obsessed with this little guy. So the next thing that I have here is you're probably wondering what the heck it is. This is a bowl cozy, basically. So I made a little bowl. I had this yarn left over from that made my reading planner book cover that looked like a little strawberry. And I only used this color. Sorry about the construction outside, by the way. They're building a condominium, so that's going to be the background noise for most of our videos now for the foreseeable future. City life. But I made this from the leftovers. I made a few of these bowls. So I made one of these bowls in a smaller, taller size for my fiber fill for when I'm working with toys. So I just like right there. And then I had this color left over, and it matches kind of like all of the, as you can probably see from the color of this wall, it matches a lot of our aesthetic in the house. And so I figured I'll make a bowl for it. And then when I made it, I realized that the construction of it was so flimsy that one day I was thrifting and I found the perfect size bowl, wooden bowl, to fit inside. And so all I did was pop it in there and cinch the top off. And it is the perfect little like junk collector bowl that we keep downstairs. It sits on our bar and we kind of drop whatever we have into it. So that's the first home project. So the other little tiny home thing that I did was I made these little catty or berry or whatever you want to call them coasters. And this one just sits on my desk. So I always put my coffee on it, and it's the cutest little cozy for your tea or your coffee or your cup or whatever. And I just think it looks very, very cute. So I made this one. And at the same time that I made this, I also made another one that's in pink to put inside my bowl that I kind of put my rings and watch into at the end of the night. And that sits on my nightstand right next to me. So I made two of those. I also at the same time made some plushie, which I don't have them right now because I did give them away, but I made a plushie ghost keychains for people. So if you haven't seen them, I'll put a picture of the one that I used kind of here somewhere. So that you can see it. So it looks like that. And I gave mine away. It's very easy. This was the ghost I think took 25 minutes maybe to make, with stuffing, with attaching the keychain, everything. So very fast make. This was also a fast make. This was about 30 minutes, I think, to make. So after I got done with that, let's see, maybe not directly after, but I decided to tackle some plushies. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. The more I work on plushies, and I know people who love plushies, I am just not a plushie girl. So I'm going to show you two plushies today that I have made. And I think it will be quite some time until I make another plushie, I think, because there's just something about them. I'm not a huge fan of how they look, and I'll show you why. So first of all, I made this little doll, and she's so cute. This was for my daughter. So I wanted her to have something bigger. I've made her dolls before, not in plushie. And so I got a pattern that came with a version in plushie and a version, like you could make both. You could make it in plushie yarn, and then you could make it in just like a regular cotton yarn. So this is the plushie version. I reinforced the neck, still pretty wobbly. And I will say, like she's very cute. I like her. It's just not my style. Like it's very plushie. And I'm just not like a plushie. I have like two plushies. My daughter kind of loves them. She also likes dolls more. So just not a plushie person. So I don't think this one is for me. So what I did actually is afterwards, and throw that over there, is I made the cotton version. And like, just so much cuter, I think, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. She is so sweet. She's so cute. Everything is in proportion. When you work with plushies, the head tends to get like really oversized. But look at her. She's just absolutely perfect. I love her. I think this is it. My daughter loves them both. She plays with this one more, actually. That one just kind of sits in her room. So maybe she is also not a plushie lover like her mother. So now, speaking of plushies, I got two more plushies to show you. And I guess I was like on a mushroom kick because I decided that after seeing it everywhere, I wanted to make the viral, like jumbo size, toddler size, whatever they call it. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna get myself more comfortable. Toddler size mushroom guy. And so I made him for my daughter's birthday. That is, we're celebrating the day that this video comes out. Actually, we're having a big party. So she'll be getting him, and he's huge. And he's very cute. I gotta say, this one is very cute. I do like this plushie. He is cute. He took forever to make. He took a lot of materials. I have a vlog up of me making him. If you want to watch it, I will put it up in the cards. So you can go ahead and watch me making and struggle to make this guy. But I actually really like him. And again, the same plushie issue. I reinforce his neck a lot, which you'll see in the vlog. And he's still wobbly, like they just get really head heavy. But I think in this case, it actually works. He's very cute. I am quite obsessed with him. So I think this mushroom plushie was actually a big win. Let's toss him with the rest. And now the last, I guess we are doing it by theme. I said I wasn't going to do it by theme, but I'm kind of pulling things together. And then the last like plush type situation I made, I also really like. So I know I said I don't like plushies, but there's certain ones I do like when they turn out a certain way. And certain ones I just like when they don't have a lot of details, I don't like that. I like very detailed dolls. So I made the flower dragon, and this was such a fun make. This was really exciting. It was detailed. There were different things you could do. It wasn't always the same thing. Like it wasn't just like round shapes put together. And I really like him. He usually sits on this chair. My daughter really likes him. She likes to pet him. So this was a really cute make, this little flower dragon. I really enjoyed it. I kind of alternated, like I played around with colors because I wanted to use up like things that I have from my stash. So the leaves are 2 different colors. And then I already had certain colors. So I did the horns in a different color. Just basically tried to use what I have, but he's quite long. So like, look at this. I really like him. This was a really fun make. I gotta say, this was a fun little make. So to finish off kind of the toy portion of the things that I've made, and you can see like I've been making a lot, right? I also made these 2 for my shop. So Archibald the alligator and Brianne the bunny. These are 2 amigurumis that have patterns. They're up in my shop. You can link them below. It's all in the description if you want to grab these and make them by yourself. But I did make these 2 for the shop. So these were really, really fun to make. I love designing. I actually also finished a 3rd one. I finished the test, the first sample of Maurice the Mouse, and I will have a vlog of that, of me making it from start to finish coming up. But because I haven't finished the final one, and because I technically finished it in April, not in March, I kind of wanted to do this with things I finished at the end of March, like exactly in the first quarter. So I didn't include him in this video, but these are the 2 that I made in the first quarter, and I do have patterns for this. So that kind of, I think, rounds out all the amigurumi I made. So now we can talk about, I have a couple of wearables that I made, couple of shirts, like a shawl and some test socks when I was learning to knit. So I'm going to show you the shawl first, and I love this. So I'm going to be taking this on vacation to wear on the plane. It's hard to show it, but it's beautiful. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Like it's like the softest shawl. It's really nice, and it's just acrylic yarn. So I used Loops and Threads acrylic. This is an ice cream. I believe it's called ice cream shade. So I'm gonna see if I can focus a bit. Maybe back here will be better, but it's an ivory color, and it's got specks of all different colors in it throughout. And I just picked one of the colors to do the edging. So the original shawl pattern that I will link in the description, it didn't have an edging. It was just straight. And I just did a scalloped kind of seashell edge all the way around to finish it off. And then I blocked it, and it's really nice. I think I might run it into some fabric softener this week just to make it even softer, but it's really nice, and it'll be really great on the plane. And I just think the colors turned out really well. Again, like so hard to probably show you on camera because it's so huge, but I think the colors turned out really well because you've got this like fun confetti, like ice cream confetti party colors in here on the ivory. And then I think the scalloped edge really elevated it and made it like more modern, I think, even though it is a scalloped edge. So it's weird how that happens, but that's the big shawl. I have another shawl that I do want to make, but I haven't gotten to it yet. And then I started that's when I started my knitting journey. I think almost right after this, maybe after the next one, but kind of close to when this shawl thing ended, I decided I want to do more clothing, and my dad's been asking me for socks, and I started crocheting some socks to test it out. And I really did not like how crochet socks felt. Like they were very rough and hard because crochet stitches are just naturally more solid. And so I decided to learn to knit. And so I made I'm going to show you 3 socks because these are all samples. So we have this one that's the closest to like a real cool, good looking sock, and I knitted that. Then we have this one that's even better, I think, because my gauge was improving and it was feeling a lot better on my foot. And then this was the first one I made that I couldn't fit into at all because I did not account for my gauge. My stitches were too tight. But these three socks, the testers, I made during this, the months of March and some of February. And then since then in March, I have also almost completed my dad's gift socks because they're going to be done this week and they're actually perfect. So learn to knit on these. I think socks are a great way to learn to knit because they are fairly complicated, but also not, if that makes sense. So you learn to do a heel turn. And I think once you learn to do a heel turn and picking up gusset stitches, you're pretty much set for wearables, at least like simpler wearables. Like I think I have no problem now. I'm not worried about separating for sleeves after I've done like the heel turn on a sock and then picking up gusset stitches. So that's the knit project that I kind of finished. And then I have one final wearable, and then I can talk to you about the sewing thing. So this wearable, it's so cute. This is also for my daughter's birthday, and they are matching sweaters. So it's quite big. So they're short sleeve sweaters. So this is the one I'll be wearing. And then this is the one that I made her to match. And we both have cute little skirts we're going to wear with them. And we're going to match on her birthday party. And I'm so excited. I used a Karen cake. I want to say, I can't remember. I'll link it below. It's the color, or I'll put a picture of it here, actually. Let me put a picture of the cake here. Because I want to say it's like, it is a cloud. I think it's a cloud cake, but it's the one that has the gradual. And it's called Rose Garden. I won't say Rose Garden might be the thing, but that's the color of it, and it's beautiful. And I saw somebody, a YouTube creator here, use it for a hexagon sweater, and I fell in love. And I picked a different pattern for it, and it didn't quite have the distinction of colors like the hexagon would because it was a different type of pattern because it just worked in a big square. But I made it work. I altered the pattern. I'll link the pattern in the description, but I did alter the pattern and I made it more like see how the back is different. So the back and the front, they're opposites of each other. And so that took a bit of playing around with, but I did crochet these, and I feel like my daughter's going to be super excited to match with me on her birthday. I'm going to give them to her, I guess today when this video goes up, and hopefully she's really pumped. And then the final project that I made, so this is actually a knitting project, and I do have a complete walkthrough, like kind of to show you all of it in my reels in Instagram, so go ahead and check that out. But I made a carrying case for my interchangeable needle set. So I have an interchangeable needle case, and it's very thick. It's very bulky. It felt almost like a suitcase. And so I made this from thrifted sheets. And they weren't sheets. They were like a couch cover because it's like a cotton material. Like a canvas cotton. So I made that for thrifted couch covers, and I thought the pattern was really cute. It matches some of my project bags, so that'll be perfect. And I made one that is more like a zipper pouch, and that's going to be a carrying case for when we travel. So I'm going to put my needles in here. That way at security, I don't get flagged. I'll just show them I have these needles. They're knitting needles. It's not a big deal. I'll count them, put some pencils in here so they'll see it's all the same thing. So that's what traveling and matches sits right in front. And then the actual case has like a snap, and it fits everything inside. And I have not, it's got like a zipper here for like all my stitch markers and stuff like that. But I use the stoppers for the cables to put in here. But it has everything you might need. And I have not knitted in ages. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself for this one, especially when they're like, let me tie this back together. When they're like a little set like this, I am very proud of myself. There were mistakes. There were things that weren't straight. The zipper took a bit of playing around with. However, I feel that considering that I used like pretty much almost all thrifted materials and things I had around the house, as the only thing I did buy was the zipper because I didn't have one long enough. I already had the zipper for the inside, kind of like randomly lying around, and the iron-on infusible because I didn't have that. So those are the only things I bought, and everything else was stuff I already had around the house. And then, and I also did buy the fabric for to do like the outside of this. I forgot what now I'm blanking on what that's called in sewing because I don't sew. But for somebody who doesn't sew, this is really cute. I got the case. There's a case pattern that I'll link as well, and I just kind of followed that. There's also a YouTube video to kind of show you how to make it in case you're not used to pattern working, which I was not because again, not a sewer. But I'm pretty proud of this. So this is like a thing I made that wasn't knitting, that wasn't crochet, that wasn't amigurumi, which is what I do. But I really loved it. So and it's kind of in the same vein, right? Because it's for my knitting needles. So that's everything that I made so far. It's quite a few projects. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, counting the socks in one project, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I guess 14 if you count Maurice. So that's about 14 projects, 13 that I showed. Oh, and the ghost. So 50, almost 15 projects, kind of 14 and a half projects for 3 months. That's quite a bit, I think, for me. Usually I can only do like a project every couple of weeks, you know? So that's actually really good. I'm really proud of myself. I have been obviously obsessing with yarn and crochet and knitting. And so I will continue to obsess. And I want to do another one of these in 3 months' time. So we'll see how many more things I can get done in the next 3 months. So thank you so much for hanging out with me here. Which one's your favorite? Actually, in the comments, if you made it this far in the video, tell me which one of these makes was your favorite and if you're thinking of making it yourself as well. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing if you are subscribed. I am so excited to grow this channel and to start hanging out with more and more like-minded people. This is great. Yarn on. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.